figure I might as well just keep it inside. Oh, there's my reflection glasses, so I gotta put them down so I don't reflect so much. I'm reflecting more on what I have to say than on my glasses, yeah. Well, all week I've been researching away for clients and customers and finding new stuff that I didn't even know to ask about. See, that's what's neat about life. You don't know what to ask for. This is why a question mark's through. Who the heck will know this stuff is there? So today we're going to cover the highlights of some of the things I found. And a lot of it really is, God, I really can't get across enough on how important it is how you search Google. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. I mean, and when I put in the promo, for this seminar today, somebody said, well, I like Google. Yeah, I like Google too. I mean, it's hard not to because it's the only place that really, they do a good job in finding stuff. Unfortunately, the stuff that you really want, it's hard as hell to find, but you don't even know you can't find it because you don't know it's there. So all you see are your options of people who are going to sell you stuff. Yeah, and so that's what I do. That's what my work is for clients. So I work mostly on people who need money to start a business or money to buy a house or just money to pay bills. I mean, I'm sending out reports at over 300 sources of extra funding because this is all locally. You just can't put in, I want to pay my bills, because that's when you're going to run into the sharks. There's sharks in those waters, and they're out there to get you, because that's where you are. You're on Google, so that's where the traffic is, and so people are going to spend a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of techniques and everything to try to get your money, And so what you have to do is understand your options. So maybe some of these people are good, maybe not. Who the hell knows? I certainly don't know. And that's it. But I want to make sure enough people know how to get around them, so you know your options if you want to pay money to do that, because you may not have to. I mean, a lot of things I do, like people trying to pay their health care bills. Well, golly, there are people, I mean, if you put in free health care or something like that, you're going to get stuff that it's going to be, it's going to sort of look like it's legitimate. These people know how to do stuff, that sucks you in. I mean, you know what clickbait is, that get $100,000. It sounds like my ads. Get $100,000 to solve your healthcare problems or whatever. And they're there. And you click on it, and what it is, it's going to be a couple of superficial things. And that'll be it, and then it'll be somewhere where an ad that you're gonna oh, this looks interesting, I'll click here, or call this number and solve all your problems. Oh, this look interesting, or whatever. And see, the people who do this for free don't have that kind of money. They don't have money to put in these clickbait ads or whatever. See, and the other people who are have these advertising to get you and to get your money because you have a problem. You have a problem you're trying to solve. So they're gonna, it costs nothing to set up a website, right? And put just outrageous claims on it. It costs almost the same thing to do ads, like I do, and claim, and that's really to get your attention. But what they're doing, is after they get your attention, they're trying to get your money. And, it's, I guess I do a lot of the same thing. But anything you ever buy from me, I'll return if you don't think it's a deal or whatever. I have oh gosh, there was something I thought was clever, now I can't think of it. It's so clever I don't even remember it. I guarantee, you don't like it, you don't think it's a fair trade. Oh, that's what it is. Fair trade guarantee. You don't think it's a fair trade, that's why I try not to charge a lot of money. I don't want to charge a lot of money, because I want people to be comfortable, and I'm just trying to educate you on what's there. But if you go in and click on these clickbait things, you will get, down the rabbit hole. Somebody's going to call you, you're going to call somebody, they're going to sell your name or whatever. And the people who give out things for free, you'll never find. Because they don't do that. They don't have the money to figure out how to do that. The people who are getting money from people have the money to figure out how to get your money out of Google. See, so that's what I sort of see. There's sharks in these waters. So how do you stay away from the sharks? Okay, one thing you do is don't go to .coms or .nets and things like that. Stay, when you're looking for help first, stay with only .gov, G-O-V, or .org, O-R-G. And that's what you do. And then the other thing you do is try to find somebody in those .gov or those .org that you could call, you could email, you could contact to, because if they don't have help for you, they may know somebody who does, because they're in that business is helping people with those kinds of problems. So they'll know the websites. You're going to try to go through 1 billion websites and find what the hell you want? You can't. And that's why you Google, you'll narrow it down to 100 million. Well, that sort of narrows your topic down. 100 million websites you only have now, right? But if you call somebody who's in that business, like your 211 operator, 211.org, your local library, that's another thing to do it. Man, you have a reference library right in your town that knows a lot of stuff, knows the free stuff in town, because they've been helping people for years and years and years. But nobody calls them because they think everything's on the internet, right? Yeah, it is, but try to find it, man. That's the problem. That's right. Google is great if you know exactly what you want. Yeah, I'm looking for the Peter Johnson Institute of Wyoming, pay me this stuff. Yeah, and if you put that in, wow, you found it. But see, what you have to do is know to ask for the Peter Johnson, Wyoming, pay for this stuff, website. Otherwise, you're going to say, well, where do I get free money to do stuff? Then you're going to get everybody and his uncle or whatever, and you're going to get 1 million websites, 100 million websites, 10 million websites, or whatever it is, and you'll never get out of that stuff. Now, here's I was looking for free medications or whatever for people. Okay, and what's interesting too, you'll find, the more research I do, the more I find people that are curating, they say. They're gathering these places. There's something called a Needy Meds, NEEDYMEDS.org. And if you go in there, now they have databases really of all the free stuff. It's not people, there's no ads. See, when you go in these databases and you see ads or these websites that promise you to get free stuff or whatever, if you see advertising there, get out of there. Get out of there real fast, because they're just superficial. They're not going to they're not concentrating on getting good information. They're concentrating on selling you some stuff, right? And that's different. It's hard to do two things well. So you want to go, you want to find those websites that people don't concentrate on selling you something. They're concentrating on providing real good information. And the only people who can afford to do that is really the government or nonprofit organizations. And that's what .org is all about. And see, and they don't have pop-ups. Because if you have pop-up, unless it's just to, subscribe to, to keep you in touch of this stuff. But they kind of pop up. You don't want to be there either, because that's what they're do. And also go on the bottom and see if they have complete contact information. Because a lot of these things are just grabbing your name, grabbing a phone number, because they get paid like $10 for every phone number or email address they suck out of the system. And that's all I have to do is figure out how to get your email address and phone, and they sell it to somebody who has some $10,000 offer, that will save your life, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what they're doing, and it's just hard to get around these people. So that's why and what I'm suggesting doesn't work all the time. It's not perfect, but you have to start learning how to zero in on this stuff, and not get caught up in all these fancy things that are out there, because there's too much money being made on this stuff. I'm just reading recently, like now Amazon, man, they're going to start 20% of clothing is now sold online. 20%. That's why they're going to grow the clothing business, and stores are going out of business. So there's a lot of money in this internet stuff. But so that's why you have to know how to use it. If you're just going to go in and Google and say, oh, Google will help me, nah. But it's just being sophisticated enough to use it. And the best way to do that is with trial and error. Like I was just doing a research for people who want to buy a home in Fort Worth. Okay, now, I mean, that was really instructive because you put like buying a home in Fort Worth or everything, then you get, oh, what was that? I have that here. Oh, my notes, I'm an old guy, I forget stuff. Oh, it was good, but it's not good if I don't have it. But anyway, it looked like they called themselves FHA government loan. You know, well, wow, that sounds like a government thing, you know, or whatever. You know, and when you get into the site, see, they all kind of phone numbers to call and call this and do this, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And way down in the small print that you could barely see anybody down there, you know, hey, anybody down there? There's some, you know, words in .2 type. That says, we are not affiliated with the government in any way. You know, and all kind of qualifications that try to cover their butt legally. But man, you're never going to get there, you know. And they know that. Everybody knows that. But then they could say, somebody tries to assume because they screwed them over. No, see, I told people. They whispered, you know, in a foreign language, yet, yeah, to do that. And so that's why one of the safer ways is to, like for housing, you contact a local HUD housing counselor. These are people to get grants just to help you do that and to get your glasses. Yeah. And that's all they do, you know. So now, so if you're looking for only .gov, you're looking for only, you know, .org, you know, and you're talking to people in your neighborhood who should know those kinds of things. That's why people are becoming more important now than anything, you know. So that's what you have to do to survive, you know, and to use the tools that help us out there. But you'll think there isn't because all you run into the people who want to charge you money because the other people aren't charging, you know, and you won't find out about them. So that's the key to all this. Okay, so that's just a little wrap up on protecting yourself against the Google sharks. Because there's sharks in those waters. Okay, how about $1 billion? You know, the IRS is sitting on literally $1 billion they owe to 1 million people. And that's from 2013. Just 1 year alone. Nobody's picked this up yet. $1 billion. I meant billion by 1 million people. That's an average like $700, $800 a piece. So there's 1 million people in America that don't even realize that they have, you know, an average of $800 sitting in the IRS. So go to the IRS, unclaimed or refund, that kind of stuff. Google that, and you'll see. Actually, here's the article I got it from. A CNBC article: 1 billion in tax refunds waiting to be claimed. So if you just put that in, that's right, Google, see if you know exactly what to do, then you could find exactly that. If you put tax refund, then what you're going to do is get 1 million people who know, hey, you're a greedy sucker and looking for, you know, easy money, so they want to sell you some easy money, and that's what you run in. But if you know exactly, you put it in CNBC, 1 billion in tax refunds is waiting to be claimed. You'll see, and they have a listing there by state. Like in Wisconsin, there's 13,000 people, actually 12,700 people. You know, over $11 million they owe to people there, to these 12,000 people. West Virginia, there's 3,000 people who owe $5 million to these people. That's an average of $800, $900, $855 a piece there. Wow, I'm sure people in West Virginia could use that. Arizona, 24,000 people in Arizona. I thought these were all smart, you know, financial people in Arizona. It seems they're, I guess not. California, almost 100,000, 97,000 people. Yeah, are owed over $696. Colorado, 20,000. Connecticut, 11,000. Delaware, 4,000. Sorry, Delaware. Iowa, 10,000. Look at Louisiana, 20,000. Wow! That's amazing. 20,000, that's almost the highest number. Actually, no, Illinois is the highest number. 40,000 people. 40,000 people. $40 million, you know, to people in Illinois. Kentucky, 12,000 people. New Hampshire, 4,000. Jersey, 30,000. Wow, what's going on in this country? We don't know what we have, and we're all chasing something we don't have. And forgot to check behind the couch. what's behind the couch? I may have lost a $100 bill back there. You could find that. So that's available. Also, what I ran into this week was something called usafacts.org. This is a nonprofit organization, and it's pretty good data. usafacts.org by what's his name? Bill Bauman. You know, the guy who used to run Microsoft until he bought this basketball team or whatever. Well, he set up a free database of all the data. It's sort of like a statistical abstract of the United States. And it's nicely presented. I'd take a breeze at that, take a look, so you know you have a place to look at a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I think it's nice because you don't know the questions to ask sometimes. So when you see tables or whatever, it sparks your imagination about this. And data is important to me just to get a better feeling where things are going in life. You know, I think that's important because you're making decisions every day and just trying to survive. We all are trying to do that. But if we have an idea, a little bit of idea, maybe where the ship is headed, you know, that'll help us make these, you know, current decisions in life. And that's important. I'm looking at the data about income for families. There's about 150,000 families in this country, you know. And listen to 60% of them make less than $60,000 a year. So that means 60% of the families are making less than $60,000 a year. Okay. And that's sort of, so that's, we have lots of people, right? 60% of our people. So that's, you know, if there's 300,000, so that's almost 180,000 or something like that. And what's interesting, headed by female households, the poorer the family is, the more it's headed by a woman. You know, the richer the family is, the more it's, it doesn't really say headed, but I guess the percentage of male versus female in the household. So it gets like 70% males in the top 1%, and 26% are headed by females. In the bottom 20%, it's 40% are headed by males and 56% by females. And that's sort of, yeah, I think interesting. And right in the middle, even at 60%, it's like 55% is headed by men and 44% headed by female. And what's interesting, minorities, their percentage goes down as income goes up, except for Asians. Asians get more wealthy. The higher percentage of Asians get wealthier than the other minorities. And actually even non-minorities, I guess that's white, yeah, they don't jump as much as Asians. So Asians are jumping. So it's an interesting database that you have, and that's usafacts.org. Okay. Now here's another thing I ran into that I think is important, is if you Google Career One-Stop Center, that's no matter where you are. I've been doing a lot of this recently because helping people get money to be educated, to get training, get free money for training, free money for education, free money for job help or computer skills or whatever. All these things now are available free if you know where to look. And the one source of free help and even money to pay for all the training is your Career One-Stop Center. And they have different categories. I mean, everything from displaced homemakers to, you know, to kids, you know, who can't get a job, you know, and they have money and help to get a job. Or if you're out of work, or you want to change work, you want to get a higher education and stuff like that. Okay, but what a lot of them have, what I see that is so nice, is free workshops. I mean, you go online or something, the workshops training, you don't know how to write a resume, or interviewing techniques, or job strategies, or here's one, your money, your goals, all these kinds of strategies. Here, how to use LinkedIn to get jobs and contacts and stuff like that. These are free kind of workshops that they have at these Career One-Stops. Okay, maybe because it's a bureaucrat, it's going to be a little boring, but you want the information, and you don't want to go and pay $500 to, you know, have somebody sing and dance for you when you're after the same information, you know, and that's the important thing. I mean, we buy sizzle instead of the real meat. And if the real meat is given away for free and it's not packaged, you know, fancy or whatever, oh, it can't be good. Nonsense. It's the same stuff, But the people who are getting a lot of money to do it are going to the workshops, copy it, and then do it. I mean, that's what I did. I did a book on how to get your taxes done for free. So I went and I took the free course that the IRS has on how to do taxes, and got the book that they use. It's not copyrighted, and I copied the thing and just put my cover on it and train people. See, and that's it. So if you knew the free one, or if you knew me, and that's what I'm trying to educate people, is all about your options in life. Sure, and nobody knows. Things are changing so fast, nobody can know. We're taking advice from people who don't even know what the hell to do with their own life, let alone be able to tell you what to do with your life. So to me, what we're all have to do is find the potential options and see if they're right for us. That's what it is, and that's important for that. So all the sources I'm talking about is that, and what I do too in my work is give you like sources of paying your bills and stuff like that. 300 sources just for where you live, just for Camden, New Jersey, or wherever it is. And actually, I have a sale now on just Jersey, because I'm getting so good at New Jersey. I could do that a lot cheaper now. But it is there. It's just digging. There's no magic. There's things that you just have to be aware of, take the effort and the organization to fill it out and find out about a follow-up. It takes follow-up. See, when I send you 100 or 300 sources, your job was really just beginning. What I did is pared down the 100 million sources you'll get in Google to, these are all the single girls who are in your neighborhood. Your most likely candidate. That's what I do, instead of just getting a pile of all the women in your zip code. And you got to figure out if they're married or not, and all this kind of stuff. So that's what then it takes work on your side, to do that, and that's what all of life is. All life is about, to me, is about doing the work. That's important. That's why I think it's important, to work on the important problems you have. Don't do superficial things unless it's just entertaining for you. But if you really want to start thinking about a new career, you really want to see what the options are, housing, or you have health care problems or whatever, and see what options are available to pay those things. There are options, just that the free things never advertise. And also I have another service that now on lesgo.com/talk. And I just started this, and I did a few over the weekend. It's great. I mean, for 15, 20 minutes, I can, you tell me what you're interested in. I could identify 5 different ways you could solve that problem and money sources, and I send you the sources. So it's a way to cut through. Actually, a lot of people get the reports then are now, because you have like a toolbox, and then you got to figure out how to use all the tools that I sent you. And sometimes it's easier, just talking on a phone. And I enjoy talking to people. It's fun to get to know. And that's a really one-on-one help. Is great, because that sort of feels more alive. When I just sell millions and millions of books, I just get up and act like an idiot. People buy books and never have that contact to understand the problem. That's what, to me, life is trying to understand what problems out there that I can solve, and how to package that answer, or research and find the answer. So that's why, to me, the questions are important. I always felt I could do a book on anything. I can't think of the title. Well, thanks for putting up with me. I'm going to try to do more of these, so stay tuned. I usually send out a notice that it's going to be coming up in a few minutes or hours or whatever, and then do it. Leave a message. I'm going to put all the links on. So, in the next hour or two, I'll have all the links on YouTube and Facebook. So you got all the links I talked about. And you don't have to, swim with the Google sharks. So let me know. Let me know if how badly I'm screwing up, or what you're interested in. I'll try to point you. Okay, thanks.